Hi. You know, I was going to actually turn around to face the sun, but I feel like it would be in my eyes, and I don't really want to do that right now. But, welcome. I mean, we've been in Aries season, but, it's kind of like we're in it now. Today was a wild kind of day. The day has really just gotten started. I went to a friend of mine's yoga class in Hell's Kitchen. Haven't been there in a while, but I used to live in Hell's Kitchen, right? And I do like going back to the neighborhood because it's very nostalgic to me. It's probably been about 10 years since I last lived there. Anyway, the gym is in Hell's Kitchen, and my ex actually lives in Hell's Kitchen with his partner now, who was his ex-partner when we were together. It's, no details really needed for that. But as I was leaving the gym today, and I've been to Hell's Kitchen many times since 2018, since we broke up, but I never see them. And this definitely squashes my claim that I thought I saw them going uptown on the train like a few weeks ago. It could have been them, child. But it was not. So today I'm walking from the gym. It might have been ten blocks away, something like that. And I was looking down, and it's crazy because I looked up at the moment when I saw someone. And when you see people out in public, you recognize them as just being like a random civilian that's on the sidewalk. So I noticed the random civilian, and then I sort of like got the juxtaposition in the pairing. Okay, so then I was like computing really quickly. Then behind that civilian, as I will call them, I saw my ex with a very similar facial expression that I remember them to have on a weekend, particularly a Saturday morning. Anyway, I was like, what? I made no expression. I didn't have a mask on, so you could see all of my face, except for I did have on my sunglasses, which was great because there was no eye contact. I mean, there kind of was, but like, I had my shades on, so you could tell. Not a word. Just a couple of steps past. That was that. Kind of similar to how I envisioned it if it were to ever happen. It was literally like that. The crazy thing is that we literally just had an Aries new moon, literally on the 1st. What's today? The 2nd, the 3rd. So we're still in that energy, and this person was an Aries rising, which I think is just so profound because we are in Aries season. We are in the season where the Libra full moon happens and occurs, and we are both Libras, me and my former partner, which goes to show you that, you can be a particular sign and you're not the same as everyone who is that particular sign. Like, let's say Libra suns. Like, I'm a Libra sun, they're a Libra sun, and he's kind of like me in ways, but he ain't. And none of you have ever seen this man unless you followed me like 4 years ago, and there was maybe like 1 or 2 pictures that I posted of this person, but I don't ever really post pictures of the people that I am in relationships with, like romantically. I don't do that. Yeah, that was crazy. And it's funny because I did a reading today, and it was a brand new deck. I actually have it with me today. It's the Osho Zen Tarot. I don't know why I always want to say Osho Zen Oracle, because it's not an oracle. It's a tarot deck that kind of feels like an oracle, and I love that. I love it when I have a tarot deck that feels like an oracle. Anyway, I got like the Tower in my Sun position. I was like, okay, word. What does that mean? I was like, that's Mars, that's Aries, we're in Aries season. I was like, okay, work. 180 shift in perspective. Bam, something staring me right in the face. You know, a head-on sort of thing. And that's what it felt like. It was like, whoa, head-on, bam. And it's crazy because I got a lot of first house placements. I guess that would make me like an Aries. I don't know. But, yeah, it was very that. Yeah, very, I don't give a F you, curse nor bless you, that type of thing. There was a second, for 1 second, I was like, wow, should I feel like some sort of sadness, pity, whatever? And then I was like, no, I don't. But I'm going back and forth with it, obviously. You know, I'm a Libra, so can't really tell yet if that's how I feel. Because then when I think like, oh, I don't give an F. I'm like, oh my God, but like that's not true. You know, because actually, when you see someone suffering in silence, you feel bad for them, right? To some degree. I mean, like, if they're actually suffering, you know what I mean? Some people are not, right? It could just be them, like, you know, their ego or something like that. But anyway, very much ego, very, very NARS, and I'm not talking about the cosmetics line. Very id, ego, super ego, battling it out. No, it was profound for me. But I'm glad it happened because it did give me that 180 shift in perspective. Because I never had that sort of like, I don't know if it was a period on a sentence or if it was an answer to a question or if it was just a reminder of what I escaped. Right? Anyway, the new moon was ruled by Mars, which rules Scorpio and Aries as well, and it is exalted in Capricorn, so lots of things going on there. And, you know, Pluto is actually in Capricorn right now, so there's a little bit of interplay going on with those planets. They're aspecting each other. It's really weird, but here we are. Aries new moon. Aries is connected to identity, right? It is connected to your existence. It is connected to your sense of individuality, self, your power, as it is associated with Pluto. The first house is, so if you have Pluto in the first house, it kind of gives you that energy of Aries and Scorpio, together. And wherever it's exalted, there's little echoes here and there, right? It's like you're in a hall of mirrors, I feel like sometimes, with all of this stuff. But, yeah, I don't really have much to say about, where the planets are in the sky right now. I'm just giving you a little street talk today, telling you what happened, because it was kind of crazy. But I feel like I've been anticipating that encounter for years now. And it finally happened. And I was pretty happy with the outcome. Which was just me gaining further perspective on what was and what is. And Aries is connected to that too. Sometimes we only see things from our perspective, and we're unable to see things from other people's perspective, which limits our range. Okay, so sometimes Aries does have that limit of range, kind of like Taurus does, but Taurus is ruled by Venus, so Venus is a more complex energy, I feel. But what else am I saying? I'm just kind of ranting right now, shooting the shite. But it is associated with rising above. And that's kind of like what Aries does. Aries rises above. It's a very optimistic sign. Very much like Libra is optimistic as well. So is Leo. It's about how we can optimize our experience. It's investigative, which is why Pluto is associated with the first house. Asking questions, very inquisitive, very in your face, doesn't hold back. Because when something is rising, or when something is first, it's the capital letter that begins the sentence. That's very powerful. And nothing can exist without it. Just like nothing would exist without you, because you would be unaware of everything if you were not there in it. So it could be absent-mindedness too. Sometimes ignorance, what you choose to ignore, or what you choose to kind of ignore. That's where ignorance comes from, right? And it also is connected to what you don't know as well, which is why you have to ask questions, which is why you have to investigate things. Because that's when your perspective will shift. That's when you can see past yourself. That's when you can see how other people might be affected by you. Mercury is the esoteric ruler of Aries, so Mercury is connected to feedback, which is also in the Lovers, right? Because in the Lovers card, we got Venus and Mars, right? I would think, or whatever that equivalent is, in your mythical knowledge, or your culture, So Aries is very powerful. It sort of is in all things. It is the kickoff for the cardinal signs. It is the antithesis of Libra, which is an equalizer and a contradiction to Aries, right? because we are all a walking contradiction, I believe, and we are all hypocrites, because you can't necessarily live your life by way that you speak of all the time. I mean, you can't live by your words completely, because we're always changing, just like Mercury is, right, in your hand. Wow. I'm just gonna keep these things that I'm sort of understanding, and not really understanding, but I just sort of reassess things as I'm going through it with you all, and I just reaffirm things for myself, check. I'm checking boxes as I go, just based on what I'm pulling in. Anyway, Aries is a very powerful sign. The sun is there, and Mercury is there as well, and Mars. They believe that there is still water on Mars. And I think it's quite fascinating, because even in the Emperor card, which is Aries, and it is, Mars energy, there's a stream of water behind narrow stream of water behind the Emperor, which means narrow patience, tunnel vision. There's only one way out, one easy way out, It's not going to be easy to get there. It's emotionally guarded, right? But then you also have to think of how Aries, a lot of them are just Vedic Pisceans. So the emotional guardedness makes perfect sense. Connected to optimism, play, discovery. Aries is very much a sign of discovery. Finding things, right? Mars is exalted in Capricorn. Let's dig it up out of the earth. And also just connected to that Scorpio energy too. Let's dig things up. Today something was dug up from the past for me, right? Scorpio is associated with time. Capricorn and Aries is too. Very much, who are you now? Who were you then? Who are you now? And who do you want to be moving forward? Oh wait, that looked like a lash. Wait, hold on. Wait. Let's get the lash back. Yeah. Right, coming out of this. It's crazy. Aries and Cancer square each other. There's that number 4 again, with the Emperor and the 4th house. And the 4 of Cups, that's the moon, which naturally squares Mars. Also squares Venus as well. Wow. That's a lot, Cancer. That's a lot. Cancer, man, you up against Libra. Well, no, you're not up against Libra, you're up against Capricorn. But with Libra, you're here, and with the cardinal signs better work. Because it's whatever cardinal sign you are, and then it's the square and the opposition of the other cardinal, the powerful signs. But every sign is powerful, but you know what I mean. And every planet is powerful, because they all have flexibility. There's a lot of theme and variations usually that go on with things, right? You are a variation of a theme. I don't know. And you are a theme, and everything else is a variation. Aries can be very precise, direct, that's what I mean, bold, rude. And Mercury is the esoteric ruler. Where else does Mercury fit? Gemini, no filter. Virgo, no filter, but still kind of breaks it down instead of giving it all to you at one time, which is a different energy. But then we have Aquarius, which is like, bam, word on the street. So it can be kind of like that. Inquisitive. Why are you asking so many questions, Aries? Would you please? Maybe that's something that I don't want to tell you. Or maybe that's something that I didn't think that you should know or needed to know. But you're asking. That's not for every Aries. But they rule children and childhood and youth and stuff like that. So, children don't really have a filter, and if they want to ask you something, they're going to, and they don't really care who's around. Which is a problem, because there is a time and a place for each topic of discussion. You don't bring up something in front of people that, should be brought up in front of them. Maybe bringing things up in private would be better. Or just reading the room, knowing how to. Right? That's what I think. Because Libra kind of shows you how to in some kind of way. Knowing the know-how. Right? There's a bird there. But like I said, Aries sets it up for all of us. They give us a sense of empowerment. It is because of Aries that we have a sense of empowerment within ourselves. Confidence, right? Tap back into yourself. Remembering who you are. Self-awareness. You are your karma. The domino effect. But it's the fingertip Mercury that pushes over that first domino and sets it off. 2, 2, 2, 2. So we're pushing dominoes. And now those dominoes are falling down, darling. That's the karma. This is literally like me just like rambling. A little street talk. What else can I say? We won't have another season that is ruled by Mars until Scorpio season after this. So what does that mean? I mean, we will have Leo season, so the sun is attached to that too. And we do have end of June and the first 3 weeks of July, which is Cancer season, which is going to square the energy of Mars. And then we have Libra season when we're going to have an Aries full moon, which will be ruled by Mars. So there's opportunities for that Mars energy to kind of peek its head back up. Oh yeah, that's right. Aries rules the head. Had to make it possible, right? For Taurus to be the, eyes, ears, nose, and throat. Because without your head, you don't have those. It is cold here still, which isn't surprising because, still Vedically in Pisces season. Can we see anything? I don't know if you can. It's kind of... I don't know if those are Orioles or whatever the other bird is that looks like an Oriole. Not sure. Okay, I think I'm gonna go because my phone is dying and I need to get out of here. It's been real. This is what it looks like when the sun is shining on you and me. I want to get some bubbles for the cat to see like how he reacts to those and how he plays with it. Maybe I'll try to find some today, but every time I go to Petco, I'm like not looking for any of the things that are obviously there to buy. I'm looking for like the weirdest stuff. So when I go there, I'm just like walking around, passing everything that they have because I'm looking for these crazy non-toxic bubbles. Anyway, maybe I'll try again or just order them offline. You know, it's kind of funny because I'm the type of person who likes to go into the store and get the thing. I don't necessarily like to order offline all the time. Unless I absolutely have to. That must be the Capricorn in me. Actually, Virgo, because I have a lot of Virgo placements. But, you know, if you just order it off of line or offline, it'll probably come a lot sooner than you can actually find it had you just looked around at different shops in your city or your town or province or whatever. So I might just end up ordering them online after thinking of getting them 2 weeks before that, just because I wanted to find them in person. Anyway,